Hello friends, now we'll discuss about the very interesting functions, fractional part function and signum function. So here first we'll discuss about the fractional part function. Fractional part function is defined as f(x) equals to x minus box x, that is 1 is a real valued function minus greatest integer function. So what happens when we are taking the values from 0 to 1? Here we are taking 0 less than equals to x less than 1. So if you take 0, so f0, if you put here, it is 0 minus box 0. So that it is coming 0. And so total value is coming 0. So f0 is equal to 0. So here the point is 0, 0. Next one is f(0) minus 1. So if you put x equals to minus 1 and if it is 0.01, 0.1. So if you put 0.1 minus box of 0.1. So minus and box of 0.1. The 0.1 minus box of 0.1 is 0. So 0.1 minus 0 is coming 0.1. So when x is 0.1, y is also 0.1. F is 0.2. So if you put here 0.2 minus box 0.2, box 0.2 is 0. So it is coming again 0.2. If it is 0.9, so the value is coming 0.9. So it is behave like a identity function. So for all x between 0 and 1, the fx also coming between 0 and 1. So we are plotting the points and we are getting a straight line starting from 0, bisecting the quadrant, first quadrant, up to not including 1. When it is 1, it is coming to the next range. So here we see that when it is 1, the value is coming 0, 1 minus 1. So it is dropped to this point. So from 1 to 2, again it is behave like f1 is 0, f of 1 minus 1 is 1.1 minus 1.1, that is 1.1 minus 1, that is coming 0.1. If similarly if it is 1.2, this value 1.2, so this value's box will be f of 1.2 is equals to 0.2. Similarly, f of 1.3, it will be 0.3. So like this, if you plot, again it is starting from 0 and coming to when up to 1. But when it is again 2, it will drop to 0. So from 2, 2.1, the value is coming again. When the x is 2.1, the value of fx is 0.1. 2.2, the value of x is 0.2. So this is proceed like this, but here no value, again it is coming to 3. Similarly, in the negative side also, if you take the range of minus 1 to 0, the value at minus 1 it is 0, and then minus 1.1 it is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 it is proceed like this, and when it reaches to 0, it again drop to 0. So every time the value of the fx are coming, the values from 0.1 to up to not exactly 1, very nearly close to 1. So, and it looks like a saw teeth, like this is coming graph. So here the domain of the function, we can say what is the domain. Domain, all real numbers are. And what is the range? Range is equals to 0 to 1 but not including 1. So 0 to 1 not including 1. So we are use first bracket for this one. Now we'll discuss about the Signum function. Signum function, see the definition of the Signum function. Now Signum function. Here fx is equals to, it is defined by into two parts. One is mod x by x when x not equal to 0 and 0 when x equal to 0. So actually from 0 to infinity and from minus infinity to 0, all are defined in this function a mod x by x, and at 0 it is defined as 0, because if you put here x equal to 0, this will be undefined. So that's why it is not taking any value of x equal to 0 here. Ultimately we are getting all real numbers here, so domain is all real numbers. Now we divide it into three parts. First one, when x is positive, mod x equals to x, and fx equals to mod x by x, that is x by x, that is equals to 1. So we are getting when x is positive, that is all r plus, fx is equal to 1, and what is 1? 1 is a constant number, and this type of function is called constant function. And the graph of constant functions, so for every positive value of x, the values of y when x is 1, value is 1. If you take 1.1, value is 1. If you take 2, the value is 2. If you take 2.5, the value is 1, 1. So all the time y is equals to 1. So we are if you plot the points and if you join, we get a line parallel to x-axis. See the when x is negative, fx mod x equals to minus x, and if you put in the function minus x by x, so it becomes minus 1. For all negative values of x, the fx equals to minus 1. It is also a constant function for all negative value. So minus 1 or minus 2, or including all the numbers between minus and 1, the value of fx is minus 1. So we are getting another parallel function parallel to x-axis, and where fx is equals to minus 1. And the thirdly, when f is 0, the x is 0. So 0, 0 is a point, that is this point, that is the origin. So the graph consists of three parts. One, the line parallel to x-axis, it is in the positive side of x-axis. Another line parallel to x-axis, but it is a negative side of the x-axis, and 0 at 0 is 0. So you can say domain all real numbers, because for every x we are getting a value of y or fx. And range, there are three numbers only. So minus 1, 0 and 1. So range consists of 3 points, 3 values, minus 1, 0, 1. Okay, thank you. For testing your understanding of this lesson and more videos, log on to www.tubelessons.net.